crypto ETFs will trigger altcoin season, and I honestly think that XRP will lead the charge. It was announced earlier today that volatility shares applied for multiple crypto-related leveraged ETFs, specifically 3 times and 5 times. They filed a total of 27 applications, and the crypto ones included XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and crypto stocks like Coin, Circle, and Master. These ETFs are leveraged, with 4 crypto leveraged 3 times ETFs and 4 crypto leveraged 5 times ETFs, each for XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. I'm going to tell you exactly why I think this is going to give a good indication as to what's going to happen with altcoin season. It's not shocking that volatility shares applied for Bitcoin and Ethereum leverage ETFs, as we already have spot ETFs live and futures options. However, it was interesting that they applied for Solana and XRP leverage ETFs. This could be because they anticipate quick approval, as the SEC's new guidance indicates that for crypto spot ETFs to be approved without the SB4 application, they need adequate, mature futures markets. XRP and Solana definitely have that, especially XRP primarily with Rex Osprey. I also thought it was very interesting that they picked XRP as one of these, primarily because it's a little bit of an outlier. With Solana, you can stake it. Ethereum, you can stake, and Bitcoin is its own entity. But the fact that they applied for an XRP leverage futures ETF, which again, I'm not advising you to trade with leverage, it's really just for experienced traders. This tells me the type of demand we're going to see with that. They wouldn't apply for a listing if they didn't anticipate retail institutions and accredited investors to hop on that. In addition, we're starting to see some opinions from tradey folks. The folks over at Bitwise, Matt, the CIO, says that the crypto flash crash was a blip, not a structural shift. The crypto flash crash was because of too much leverage, centralized exchanges failed, and a multitude of other things happened. But he did go on to say no major institutional failures were reported, and losses were mostly limited to individual traders. He also expects short-term volatility, but believes the bull market remains intact and that long-term growth drivers are unchanged. And I agree with this take. I think it's fair. Heck, we had all this news from BlackRock yesterday about wanting to tokenize the entire market, essentially vertically integrating crypto into traditional finance with tokenization. Even though technically that should be the other way around, but whatever. But moral of the story is the government is still shut down, which means they're not really going to be able to approve any spot ETFs at this time, unless they use the generic listing standards. But the good news is that we're starting to see institutions and these issuers really kind of pivot towards XRP and specific cryptos. And that's telling me that this is what they're interested in, this is what their clients are interested in, and it's probably going to be a safe bet to pay attention to what is being applied upon. I'm not saying that the other crypto spot ETFs will not perform well. I just think that the ones that are going to perform the best are the ones that have the most listings because that's more liquidity coming in. And I also think with more liquidity coming in, that's when we're going to actually see altcoin season start. Primarily because retail investors in crypto are very, 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 very tired, exhausted. And in order for number to go up on any crypto asset, you need liquidity. Again, I'm talking about long-term here. I'm not talking about short-term because I know the market's kind of dipping a bit. But overall, you have to think long-term like the institutions. You're not going to be able to beat them at their game, but you certainly can join them. By continuing to practice self-education and paying attention to what's happening, then making decisions based off your own due diligence and allocating your portfolios properly, you're going to thrive. If you're holding crypto and it's still sitting on an exchange, you need to fix that. Go to cryptoconcierge.co, we'll help you move it to cold storage, step by step.